April 2008, National Geographic Channel first aired an extraordinary documentary shot inside the closed world of Strong City, an isolated religious cult in New Mexico. The film details the group's complete devotion to Michael, the man they believe to be the Messiah.
I am the embodiment of God. I am divinity and humanity combined.
And it also reveals his sexual exploits with married female followers and his naked encounters with underage girls. 13 days after the film is shown, state police enter the cult's compound and arrest Michael, whose real name is Wayne Bent. The Latter-day Messiah is charged with sex crimes against minors and faces the possibility of up to 33 years in prison. December 2008. The court case unfolds in the small mountain town of Taos in northern New Mexico. For the state, Deputy DA Tomas Benavides will argue that Wayne Bent abused his authority when two underage girls came and lay naked with him on his bed during the summer of 2006. He'll also contend that Bent contributed to the delinquency of the girls by allowing these acts to happen.
You know, religions have practices and they have the free right to practice their religion. But when they break the law, that is not practicing the religion. That's a crime.
For the defense, Public Defender Sarah Montoya will argue that although Bent did touch the girls as they lay naked with him, it wasn't on an intimate part of the body.
Neither one of them is going to tell you that anything sexual occurred. And what Mr. Bent is charged with is criminal sexual contact.
At the heart of the case are two sisters, Ashley and Lakeisha Sayer. Lakeisha is still a follower of Wayne Bent, or Michael as she calls him. But her sister Ashley and her parents no longer believe he is the Messiah. The entire family has moved away from Strong City. Ashley has requested that her face not be shown. She was 16 and Lakeisha was 14 when the naked encounters with their leader took place. Both sisters will take the stand to testify. The members of Strong City rarely leave their isolated compound, but they view this trial as the crucifixion of the Son of God, and they will stay by his side. Many of Wayne Bent's followers are subject to a gag order because they might be called as witnesses. Others simply choose not to talk to the media. A group of ex-members is also in town to see their former leader stand trial.
I was in the church from the fall of 1989 through November 2006.
Some will try to re-establish contact with family and friends who are still part of the cult as they arrive and leave the courthouse each day. Alan Armstrong helped Wayne Bent establish the Lord Our Righteousness Church in 1987, but left 7 years later with deep concerns over Bent's leadership.
Yeah, those people we actually brought into the church are still there. And today I made some eye contact with them and they wouldn't acknowledge my presence. They're quite distressed. Their God's on trial.
Wayne Bent, who calls himself the Son of God, the Messiah, now in the middle of a criminal trial. Today, prosecutors laid out their case during opening statements to the jury, saying Bent kissed and touched two young teenage cult followers on the lips and breasts.
Many of these former members are old friends who haven't seen each other since they left the church. They are renting a nearby house together for the duration of the trial. Prudence Welch was a member for 15 years before leaving in 2005.
I haven't really seen anyone that was living out there for 3 years. Whether they know it or not, I do love them. And I care about everybody out there, including my parents.
Seth Keel's parents are also devoted followers of Wayne Bent, or Michael as they called him. In 2000, when Wayne Bent declared himself the Son of God, Seth's mother was one of 2 women drawn to begin a sexual relationship with him.
I would say 14 and a half when Wayne starts talking in meetings about the consummation. And, you know, it was just at the very beginning of that when he first said he was consummating with my mom. And I remember my mom came to me and told me what the word consummation meant because I didn't know. And it was okay with everybody. And except for me, I wasn't okay with it, but...
Devastated by his mother's relationship with Wayne Bent and the effect it had on his father, 16-year-old Seth fled Strong City and left his family behind. Now he lives 1,500 miles away in Florida. He's returned to New Mexico to try to see his parents and sister.
I was reading on the internet some of the plagues that were falling on.
Since becoming the Messiah, Bent has consummated with 7 women. They believe God chose them to be his 7 wives. Among them is Christiana, who first slept with Bent while married to his son, Jeff.
God came down on Michael and forced him to consummate with Christiana. I mean, it was a terrible, strange act of God. I was astonished, and so was Michael.
I was forced down on the floor, and I had to get down. I was down just about like this. And I was in pain, and all I could do was groan. All I could do was kind of rock. And I started seeing that the consummation with Christiana was imminent, and I was going to be, I was going to have to do that.
Tim Bowman joined the church in 1989, where he met and married his ex-wife, Kathy. He blames Wayne Bent for breaking up their marriage.
For Zion's sake, will I not hold my peace?
Well, I'm very angry with Wayne because in our church we had a lot of good families and people who loved each other and wanted to be together. And I saw him destroy good families.
When Wayne Bent declared himself to be the Son of God, Tim openly questioned his new identity.
He asked me what I really thought, and I told him he went over the edge, and he said, well, I want you off the property today. And he didn't know that I was already packing.
But Kathy embraced Bent as the Messiah and wouldn't leave with her husband, Tim.
I didn't want to leave Kathy. I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her.
Last year, Kathy became another of Wayne Bent's wives. Day 2 of the trial. Wayne Bent and his followers arrive at the courthouse where Prudence is waiting to see her parents. She's desperate to speak to her mother, who is suffering from terminal cancer. It might be her last chance to tell her how she feels.
Can I talk to you for a minute? I just love you, Mom. I'm not outside.
Many of Wayne Bent's followers have turned their backs on their family and friends who have left the cult. They believe the ex-members have chosen the spirit of the devil over the Son of God.
I came here to tell you I loved you. That's all. And I always will.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen from the jury. We're prepared to continue with the presentation of evidence from the state. The state may call its next witness.